So I have a traveler's notebook spread for you. I am using my pocket page notebook, which is from Australia from a store called The Stamp Spot. It was one of the ones that we featured in our 6 businesses you should know, which we haven't finished yet, but it's coming, I promise. Christina and I both ended up with all kinds of family things happening. So these papers are from Webster's Pages. It's the Happy Place collection. I received my collection pack from Click Kits, but I know they've since sold out. And I think there's a couple pieces of it at Paper Issues. It's a little hard to find, but I hope that you can find it if you like it, because it is gorgeous and beautiful. And Webster's Pages has always been one of my very, very favorite companies to buy from. So I know which 2 papers I want to use for my background, and I'm just going to cut those down into 4x8. These photos are actually a photo that Christina took of me at the Webster's Pages booth, and I really wanted to use this collection with this photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a double page. One side will have like the photo and the information, and then the other side is going to kind of be like a title card, and I want to use it. I want it to say My Happy Place, and because that is one of the elements in the collection, and it fits how much I loved being at Creativation. And it's also going to feature a llama, because llamas make me happy. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to take this little cut apart square, and the collection pack comes with 2 of every paper, so I can go ahead and cut out 2 of each of these little squares, and that will help me because I'm going to use them as elements for that little pocket card. I'm going to create a shaker pocket in the middle. I think it turns out really, really well, even if, especially when you consider that I have not used my fuse tool more than, this was only the 2nd time I ever used it. So, but the more I use it, the more I get better at using it, and the more I like it. So that is going to be the map for my photo. And I'm just cutting out these cut apart sheets. I had this layout completely planned in my head. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling. My grandma's nurse just texted me, and her text came down into my face. And so now I'm trying to do this voiceover, and I'm like, wait, no, focus. So what I'm going to do here is I want to do some layers. So I want to make sure that I have that pink, and I want that that gorgeous teal color from the cut apart sheet, and I'm going to use those 2 pieces to map my photos. I'm going to create, these are the colors I want in this layout. So I want that spring green and that little bit of neutral, and then I want these pops of teal and pink, because I just love them. I love those patterns, and I think that they'll be perfect. And the writing on that larger card is not something I'd ever use as a title or anything. So my whole point, I wish there was a whole sheet of 12 by 12 paper of this teal gingham, but there's not. So I've decided that that's definitely going to be the mats for my photos. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat my fuse tool up off camera, and I'm going to fussy cut oodles and oodles of flowers from this pattern paper. Okay, so fast forward a little bit, and I went ahead, and my fuse tool is nice and hot, and I fussy cut a whole bunch of flowers. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this shaker pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim up these squares that I cut from the pattern paper, and I'm going to back the squares side to side, back to back, so that no matter where you're looking in this pocket, you're going to be able to see the llama or the flowers, and they're going to make just a fun little shaker element in the pocket. I'm just going to trim these up, and then I'm going to use my white pen. This is a white Jelly Roll pen to add some faux stitching to the edges. And I'm also going to ink this up using some Hickory Smoke Distress ink. So this collection has both gray tones and brown tones, which you can see very succinctly if you look up at the corner of the flowers. And so I want to have some things that are inked in gray and some things that are inked in brown. So I went through my sequin stash. This one is called Sunshine and Road Trips. And I'm going to just put some in the bottom along with that little llama. And then I'm going to go off camera and take it over to my fuse tool and fuse it up. I can't get, because of the cord on my fuse tool being too short, I can't get it over to actually film that part. So I'm thinking about covering some of the front and back with a flower, and I'm going to go ahead and do that eventually, but I'm going to do it because, again, this is only the second time I've ever used my fuse tool. So that third fusing that I did there, or the second part that I fused up, I actually ended up not just fusing it, but cutting it in half. Totally stuck together, but now I have this area that I have to try to cover up to make sure that everything works well. And the way that I did that was I took a flower, I glued them back to back, and then because the one is larger than the other, I had lots of the pink around, so I could just trim it up to make them both the flowers the same size. And then I can go ahead and place one on either side of that part that was cut, and that helped a lot. I'm using this Close to My Heart glue pen, which I just have been loving. I got it at Heather's Crafty Retreat from Miranda, and I think that it's going to become very quickly one of my favorite adhesives. It's just super easy to use. It's super sticky, but it doesn't smoosh. It's like a wet glue, but it doesn't smoosh. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to place the flower on the other side. The other two sequin mixes that I used, the top one was Nature Walk, which is kind of like this brown and green, and it went really, really well with that tree paper. This collection has a lot of surprising color combinations, things that you wouldn't actually think to put together. Like there's lots of that dark teal, but then there's also this bright spring green. And so I tried really hard to kind of pick sequin mixes to match all of those different colors. I think that the one in the middle is a teal mix that is currently sold out in the shop, but you can grab the Nature Walk sequins for sure, and I still believe that the Sunshine and Road Trips one at the bottom is also available. I went ahead and added some staples to my flower just to keep it good and stuck there, and then I'm going to add a sticker on top where the back of the sequin is, or where the back of the staple is. And I really like how that turned out. Nothing's fallen out yet, so I think I fused everything together really well. And yeah, I love that shaker piece. It looks really, really good. I added a WP to that one box, so for the Webster's pages. And now I'm going to go ahead and embellish and get the information down on both sides of my page. Don't forget that if you want to grab any of these sequins, you can always use my code Sarah15 to get 15% off of your order. And for the month of June, Jody has challenged the design team. So even if you buy one sequin mix and use my code, that would help me out immensely. I'm determined that I'm going to win. She is running a contest to see who can get their code used the most. So you'll find lots of the design team telling you about their code this month. But you want to use mine. I promise you want to use mine. So what I'm going to do now is, I have my coffee. I don't remember if that was tea or if it was coffee, but I'm going to pop dot up some of these little brown flowers. The pop dots I'm using are pop dots from Scrapbook Adhesives, and they are really fun. I love them. So I'm going to just add some clustering and around this photo, and then I added a title onto this side of the photo that says Webster's Pages Booth, because of course this entire Traveler's Notebook is all about my trip to Creativation, and I believe it's going to end up being 2 Traveler's Notebooks at the end of the day, because I don't think one is going to be enough. Honestly, I don't. I really, really, really love this Traveler's Notebook with the pocket page from the Stamp Spot. I think it's fabulous, and it's just such a neat way to add these fun but flat interactive elements to a Traveler's Notebook spread. I really have been loving it. this is the first time I've used a shaker in it, but I've used lots of other little elements and things that you can do, and I've been very much loving these notebooks. They might become my favorite. You can't make them too chunky though, because they are attached. They're not sewn. They're stapled. So there is that. So you can't make them super chunky, but they still seem to be holding up quite nicely. So I'm really happy about that. I just decided I wanted a little bit at the bottom of this page. So I'm going to take a little bit of that kind of brown, grayish, khaki colored gingham print, and I'm going to add a little sticker that just says today to bring down. I thought about using that one, but it was a little big, and I wanted to add more of the pink and some of the other colors that I'm using on this side. So I'm just going to add that little photo sticker that says today, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a flower, just a small flower off to the side. And then I'm going to continue and work on the other side of my spread. So for the other side of the spread, I'm going to keep it super simple. I want to make sure that I have some of that tree pattern. I want to make sure that the patterns between the two pages match up. I know I want to use this little square from the cut apart sheet that says My Happy Place. I knew as soon as I saw that in the kit that was what I was using for my title. It does occur a couple of other places too, like there's stickers and different elements, big elements and small elements, but for this layout, I knew that nice square would be the perfect size. So now I want to make sure to pull in also that dark teal and this pink gingham. I think it really helps to have your colors kind of spread across both pages. And of course the sequins in the middle. And there's my sun. Oh my goodness, I forgot he did that. And I meant to cut it out. So, seriously, you guys have the goofiest boys. Ugh. So here I am just inking stuff up. I'm going to create a couple of layers. I'm going to add some flowers, and that way all of the colors and all of the icons are kind of pulled through into both sides of the Traveler's Notebook page and also into the middle where the shaker pockets are. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this fun little spread. And be sure to head over to the Spiegelmom Scraps shop and check out all the fun sequins there, because she makes the best sequins. So last little bit I'm going to do here is, I usually don't mind when there's just a little bit of a border around my page between the pattern paper and the back of the Traveler's Notebook. But this one was pretty, I don't know, I felt like when I looked at it, that was exactly where my head went, like right to that white border. So for this page, I decided to go ahead and grab my Vintage Photo Distress ink and to ink up all around the edge of the Traveler's Notebook, just to give that white border some color. And it took the color fabulously. It turned out really nice, exactly what I wanted. And it also brought together, I think, the pages to help to give everything some continuity and some fun. I'm just going to clean up, you know, because I make a mess. And that will complete this spread. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for liking my videos and leaving me comments. And I have over 2,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have each and every one of you here. There is my code, and now I have some fabulous close-ups for you to check out. I will talk to you all very soon. I have some big plans coming for this summer. I gotta get my kids finished with school, but then I have so many fun things I'm working on. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.